Hello, welcome to Hemmings Garage. My name is Junior, and today we have Terry, our editor-in-chief of Muscle Machines, going to talk about our 32 Speedster here. I am fairly new here at Hemmings, but Terry has a full history of the car, and he's going to go over it with you and tell you what it's all about.
Yeah, so this car's been here for, I think, over 10 years at this point, and it was acquired to use in the Great Race. We wanted to have a car that was maybe a little more sporting, an open top car, and the Speedster was sort of in the spirit of the Great Race event. We did not build it, it was already built when it was acquired. However, a lot of work has been done to this thing over the years while it was part of the collection and being actively raced. It has a Flathead V8, which of course came out for 1932, and I think the Great Race classified it as a 32 because of that. Technically, it's a 29. I think it's registered as a 29 because it has a Model A frame. And it's a heavily modified Model A frame. It's Z'd in the back. It's bobbed in the front. That's sort of a suicide style transverse spring. The front axle is Model A. The rear axle is Ford truck. I think late 40s Ford truck, if I remember right. The wheels are Dayton wires with knockoffs. Those were on the car when we acquired it. They've stayed with it the whole time. The Flathead, we've been through a few engines on this thing over the years that it's been here, and I forget what cubic inch the one is that's in it now. It's not real big. We had a stroked engine in it for a while. I think that had a problem, and now this one's in there. It's got Edelbrock heads on it, I think?
Yep, Edelbrock heads. I believe it's punch 30 over.
Okay.
Other than that, I believe it's pretty much stock.
Yeah, I think it's got a teeny tiny cam in it.
Yeah, insert bearings, not Babbitt.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got one of the newer two-barrel carburetors on it, the newer Strombergs.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the general rundown of this car. It sounds cool. It looks kind of cool. It's close quarters inside.
Definitely comfortable with your co-pilot.
Yeah, the navigator is right there next to you. You're out in the air with this thing.
You are exposed to the elements. I can understand why they went with the Duval-style windshield, just for a little bit of protection. But I certainly believe it looks better with the short monocle windshield on it. So let's start on the steering. First would be our axle mount here. You can see from the rust it's got a little bit of movement going on. And I also noticed that our pitman arm nut has come loose. That's scary as can be. Always red Loctite on this. We have back here a little bit of weld on our radius arm, or our wishbone if you wish. This needs to be welded up and braced a little bit stronger. Our cross member here has a notch that for some reason was cut out, I think for the previous oil pan. Don't know, that happened long before me. This engine cross member needs to be braced up a little bit. And well, Flathead old Ford, we definitely have oil leaks. Moving on back here, our transmission mount has developed a pretty significant crack in it. That's going to need to be completely redone, and that will also gain us a little more room for our brake master. And we had one exhaust hanger that completely let go, but you can see we have a lovely roadside repair here on that. That'll be an easy fix. We have our Mitchell 2-speed box that was installed in the center of our torque tube. There was a relief cut in the floor to allow the suspension to travel, but unfortunately it was about a ½ inch too shy, so that was hitting. The previous owner of this vehicle did, I won't say bad welding, but didn't get really good penetration or good fish plates over the back half of the frame here, so I need to go through that. Unfortunately, going to probably have to cut this cross member off and redo the fish plates on the back half of the frame. We also basically need to redo the whole fuel system with AN fittings because we have another roadside repair here with a plastic T. That's on the pressure side of the fuel pump. That's a big no-no right there. What else? A few little welds here and there. And it was mentioned to me that bleeding the brakes on this is extremely hard. And what nobody failed to notice, is our backing plates are on upside down. So basically our bleed screw is below our brake line and our master cylinder is up high up front. So bleeding this is very difficult. The only way you can do it is a pressure bleed. I'm not sure with the way the spring arrangement is on this if we're going to be able to, but I'm going to try to rotate the backing plates so the brake cylinder is up top where it belongs. That may turn into an excessive project. We'll have to investigate that one. It may just end up being a pressure bleed system and leave it at that. Other than that, it's pretty sound under here. Like I said, we've got a few cracks here that need to be welded up as our wishbone / radius arm is set up in a single shear, so it's put a little bit of stress here on the frame. But when I take the transmission cross member out, I'll be able to get in there, grind all that out, re-weld it, paint it, and we'll go take it for a test tow. All right, so we've taken a tour of our Speedster here. Obviously it needs a little help. All of it can be repaired, but we'd like to know what you think. Should we keep it the way it is? Should we modify it, upgrade it, or even part it out? We do have a nice little Model B that could use a hopped up V8, but anyways, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.